Hey guys, this is David Wynn with the Mortgage Edge podcast brought to you by Kick and Close Mortgage. Today, I got a very special guest all the way from Brennan, Houston. If I'm even saying that right. Tesia Harris. How you doing, ma'am?
Doing actually really well. You were really close. It was Brenham, Texas, is where we're at.
Great. And I'm from Dallas. I've lived in Texas my entire life, uh, so welcome to the show. Everybody knows that you're a top build realtor down there, but let's get to know you a little bit. So, a little bit about you. I think you've been in the real estate business or as a realtor for about 12 years now. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Well, let's hear your story. I know your story, but let's hear your story. How did you get into real estate?
I think, when I was 18, I didn't really know who I wanted to be. And so life just led me down a path that I found my dream job, and it doesn't even feel like a job anymore. It's just a part of who I am. And I absolutely love waking up and helping and serving people every single day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you started your journey 12 years ago. What made you get into real estate? What
Well, sure. That's a great question. So I actually saw back in the day, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it was a newspaper, and in the newspaper was actually an ad for a local brokerage that said, we'll pay for your school and all that. And I was like, huh, real estate. I think I could do that. And I had a 1 year old, and my daughter was about 3 months old at the time. And I was like, I want to start doing this. And so, well, who I was then and who I am now are similar, but I was just very naive to how it would blossom. But I went through schooling when they were little, came in on my first day of real estate, carrying them on my hip with the stroller, eager and ready to go. And here we are today.
Love it. I love it. The little thing about you is you're a military spouse, right? So were you always a stay-home mom until that hit, or
Yeah, so I mean, my husband was in the military and served, and when after 4 deployments, we decided that it was probably best to, start our roots somewhere. And so we had been stationed in Texas, and so we decided to stay in the area, and so that's where it was. But I was also my dad was a master sergeant in the military that retired, so just working with military and all that is just something that I've always had a deep passion for. And
okay?
then when we got out and were civilians, um, having that passion and having being their advocate on the real estate front line is really important to me as well.
Well, I know you do a lot of VAs. So with that being said, borrowers out there, if you're looking for someone that really cares about their military people, here she is. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later. So 12 years in the business, carrying two kids, young kids, on your hip as you start. What was that like? Was it instant success, or was it grind it out, learn as you go? Some people say, "Hey, I didn't really get it until year three or four or five or whatever." But let's talk about your journey. How did you do?
Sure. So when I started in real estate, they were really little, but I had my heart set on what I wanted to do. And what got me there was when I was coming into the office carrying a stroller with little kids. There were top producers in the office, and they would kind of give me that look of like, oh, she's never going to make it. And so I've always thrived off being the underdog. And so when I went to my first award ceremony, all these amazing women at the time, and there was a few men, and I remember it like it was yesterday. They were getting all these awards and plaques for all their hard work for the year, and I was like, I'm going to be one of those people. And so my first year of real estate, I set a goal to sell 34 transactions. I was like, I can do this. So I just put my nose to the grind, and December came around and I ended up selling 36. And so, it was amazing, but it was a lot of hard work. But that led me into realizing that it's more of the quality of service that I want to give to people versus the quantity in units. And so it was an evolving, circumstance for me to really dig into who I was and leaning into what I wanted for my purpose.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Most realtors, if you did uh 6 to 8 transactions your first year, you're doing great. And you did 30. That's phenomenal. Um, no wonder you're one of the best realtors out there. Well, let's fast forward today. 12 years later, we move into the new you, or actually, it's not you, the evolved you, right? Let's talk about you because I know it's not just you now. You have a team, right? Let's talk about your team and what you do and how you do it and stuff. So go ahead.
Sure. So in those years since starting everything, to keep everything up and you keep building your clientele, I realized that I couldn't and I didn't want to do it alone. And so in 2017, I actually started putting in the back end work of what it was going to look like for a team because, as you may know, every team in Texas or nationwide has different structures of who's doing what, when, and where. Like, what does that look like? And so I sat back for several years and worked on that vision of who are the people that I would align with, then, and what could we bring to the real estate industry that you're working side by side with someone versus like ahead of someone. That's not how how I'm a team leader. So in 2022, we established Texas Trio Team.
Okay.
And I work alongside some of the best women in the industry. And then we have an amazing transaction coordination team. And this is probably going to be the best year any of us have ever had. And we're so excited about it.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You're saying that it's going to be the best year ever have, and there's turmoil right now. They're saying 2025 is going to be is on pace to be worse than 2024 and everything else. But it just goes to show you, no matter what the market is, if you put in the hard work, you're going to be fine. It seems to be we're in an industry of haves and have-nots. There's people that are doing really well, and then there's a lot of people that aren't doing so well. So, let's talk about why are you doing so well? How do you generate leads? Are you buying leads? Let's give some of those secrets away if you want.
So, first off, we have to go back of, who is creating the story for you? Are you living and running your business how you want other people and what they're saying about it? Or are you waking up and fulfilling like what you feel is your purpose and how can you do that? So, once we set goals, for ourselves, we're reviewing them every quarter. So, third quarter of last year, we really kind of knew what we were hoping for in 2025 and what systems that we wanted to put into place in order to get there. So, you have to think about that whenever you're getting, around the holidays, it's like 60-day cycles. Let's envision it that way. So, yes, the holidays are typically going to be the slower times of someone's business because you've got traveling, you've got time off, kids are out of school or whatever that is. But you have to roll the tape back and look back what happened 60 days before that. And so, what were you planning in preparation for that? And so, like I said, we planned. That would be number one, is you have to plan your business accordingly and take time for yourself if you need it, but make adjustments.
Yep.
And then as far as lead generations, I can assure you that myself nor anyone on my team pay for leads.
Love it. The old school way. It's again, big brother Zillow. Everybody wants to buy Zillow leads and stuff like that. So we'll see
And
how long
and if
that goes.
sure, and if people do pay for leads, I have no disrespect for that. Maybe
Hmm.
that's how they operate their business because everyone's different, but just for our team, we don't operate that way.
That's awesome. So do you have like a buying agent and a listing agent, or does everybody do everything?
Great, and that leans into what I was saying is every team is different. And everybody has their specialties, but each of the agents on our team actually buy and sell with their clients. So it just depends on who they're working with. So we have some that are stronger, and it really leans into the disc personality. So, if you've got somebody that is really amiable and, really needs that loving, caring person, we've got that person for that. And then if you've got somebody that's a driver, get to it, just get the job done, we've got that as well. And then if you have somebody that is a critical thinker and really needs somebody to analyze and do the statistics, we've got that. So, I mean, we've got it for everybody. And so it just depends on, what someone's looking for that aligns with them the best.
I'm glad you brought up the DIS assessment because we've been doing that for about 5 years now, and it's probably one of the best things we did for every hire that is. It kind of lets us know how to train them, how to develop them, what 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 makes them a great team player. So I love that you say that. So tell me, what what's the market like down there right now?
So, I mean, I think everybody there's there's a shift that's happening. And I think that
Yeah.
if you're a business owner, you have to, buckle up and just recognize it and then make shifts in your business to adjust accordingly. And so right now we are in between the Houston and the Austin market. So it is really competitive. There's always people looking to buy or sell. We don't have those stagnant months. But just looking at RPR recently, just in our town alone, the it's like 6.86%, 6.86 months of inventory on the market.
Wow.
So, and the average days on market is looking about 51 days. And so that's a lot longer than we were seeing in 20 and 2021, or even in 22. So, I mean, it's just having those conversations and informing the sellers of exactly what that looks like and not overstep or go out of line of what their expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about the buyers? Last report there was 500,000 more listings than there were buyers out there. So it's definitely a buyer's market out there. So what are you seeing in buyers in your market?
I think that definitely buyers have a lot more room to negotiate than they did in years. And so, depending on how well informed that they are from the buyer consultation, and exactly what they're looking for, they need to be informed of what they can do and how they can negotiate depending on what loan terms and things that they're going to need and what type of options that are available to them. But right now, there's tons of inventory that you can go choose from that wasn't available, even a year ago. So taking advantage of that right now would be essential.
Absolutely. How's the new build market in your area? Big?
So a lot of the times, like there's where we're at is Washington County, which is actually the birthplace of Texas. And so a lot of big, large tracts of land may be subdividing up into smaller subdivisions. And so
Hmm.
we do, so, a lot of the times there'll be subdivisions that come up that people will relocate from Houston or the larger metro areas, and they're just wanting a little bit of land. And that may be an acre, a half an acre, just to have that secondary home or to have just some peace and quiet away from the city. So that's really the people that move out to our area is just looking for some space. So competitively, there are builders that are coming out here. There's actually even D.R. Horton is like a builder that's come out into the area and started subdivisions. So new constructions are good, but actually in the city of Brenham, I pulled it yesterday, and it probably will change by the time this airs. But there
Right.
was about 18 new constructions that were on the market, but overall there was about 58 homes on the market in our town.
Wow. Okay. So let's get to know you a little bit more. So thus far during your professional career as a realtor, what's that one achievement or moment that you're most proud of? So I always like to
Uh,
take people back in time, and it's usually one of those first transactions that you did that you say, "Man, this is why I want to be a realtor." You just said it's not work for you because you love what you do. Every day is love. So let's talk about that one transaction. Is there one that stands out to you?
Well, I've done like hundreds of transactions, and so it's a little different than what you may commonly hear. So my biggest thriving piece of what my purpose is, and in this business is once I did that first year of real estate and I realized like how hard it can actually be, is I set my mindset that I want to see this happen for other women that I was 26 at the time. So now it's just like I want to help those young men and young women that are like, I want to be in real estate, but I don't know how to do it. So giving back my time and energy as a mentor and as a coach has been very fulfilling for me. When I see agents on my team come in and they don't think that they're capable of doing something and then they crush their goal maybe in the first or second quarter and see like how much it's helped their family and like it's a ripple effect. That gives me so much joy to wake up every day. And I've had some agents that weren't even on, may have been on my team but left real estate overall. And actually just happened the other day. There was one that just has a little special place in my heart, though he's no longer in real estate. He reached out to me just checking in, and he said, I just wanted to thank you so much for putting so much time into me and helping me learn how to run a business. He's like, I don't know how you do it. So it just warms my heart.
Well, that kind of leads to the next thing. Miss Tom Ferry, business coach. So how long have
Yes.
you been in the Tom Ferry program?
I've been in in the Tom Ferry program for about 3 years.
Okay.
I was with his dad's program for 2 years when I first started real estate.
Okay. And how long have you been a coach for him?
Just recently, actually. So it's a new thing for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's growing. It's all about giving back. Everybody's looking for guidance. Everybody's looking for someone that's been there already, and that's you. It's easier to copy or replicate than to try to create on your own. And if you have a mentor or a guide or someone that can show you the path, you'll get there quicker, I think. So your team is very lucky to have you. So what's your business look like? Are you growing? Are you happy with your team now? Are you looking for realtors? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm very happy with my team right now. We're always open to having conversations with people that are eager and excited and just, want to get to the next level in their business if they feel stuck.
Hmm.
But yeah, absolutely. Like we're happy to talk to someone if they're ready to get there. And then yeah, no, I'm so excited for my team. Like so proud of them. And we just recruited somebody new recently, and she's already like hit the ball rolling and she's ready to go. So I mean, there's just a lot of exciting things happening for my team, and so we don't pay attention to the noise of what's on the news and the headlines. We create our own headlines.
Absolutely. I love it. And as a realtor, and as the owner of your own agency, you're still doing all transactions, correct? You're still out there every day showing houses or listing houses and doing all that stuff. You're not just behind the desk, correct?
Yep, absolutely. I am still in production, so yeah, I haven't hung up that hat yet.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm sure the people will want to have you as a realtor for sure. Well, we can sit here and talk to you all day long, but I know it's Friday and it's for real estate. That's our Monday, right? So getting ready for the weekend, getting ready for everything else. Before I let you go, let's talk a little about that family. We know you have two kids and a husband. So how do you juggle? We run a business, and because real estate doesn't sleep. I tell everybody be careful what you ask for because it can be 7 days a week, 24/7. I know my phone doesn't turn off. So uh, let's talk a little bit about that family life and how you juggle that.
Sure. And that's a really common thing that in a topic of conversation that any entrepreneur can have, or just a part in their business that they struggle with. And so
Hmm.
most importantly is you want a time block, and time block, the most important thing, which is probably going to be your personal time and with your family. So that's time blocked in my schedule from the very beginning. I do like an audit, a CEO time every Sunday to kind of see where's my calendar going to lead me this week. And my kiddos come first. My husband comes first before anything else, and then I just build around.
Love it. I have two kids of my own, and they definitely come first. I got into the real estate business. I've been in banking for 20 plus years, but I got into real estate for the freedom. I don't mind. I can set my own hours and schedules and everything else. So, real estate is giving me back more than what I probably have given it. So, I can't say enough good things about it. Well, like I said, we can sit here and talk to you all day. We're going to definitely have to have a follow-up podcast. What should we have talked about that we didn't talk about today?
Can't think of anything particular. I mean, I love that you brought up the shift in the market, and and just I think if someone's struggling with wanting to build their business in real estate, I'm happy to connect with them. And then also if you have somebody needing their lending needs, they can give you a call, David.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you right now, if the people out there want to find you, and I know they do, how do they find you? How do they get a hold of you?
So you can we're on every single social platform. And so but the easiest way is on our website, texasrioteam.com. Got all of our contact information, and be sure to like and follow. We have a podcast on YouTube that we've got new episodes that drop every Friday.
Awesome. Awesome. And if you're watching this live, folks, you saw that go across the lower thirds. So if you're looking for real estate in in the Brennan area, do you just stay in the Brennan area or will you go to Houston or how far will you go?
So we encompass about 16 counties outside of Houston. And so, no, it's not just the Brenham, Washington County area. I mean, there's multitudes of counties that we cover. And so we don't let anything hold us back.
Absolutely. Well, I think it all starts with a conversation, folks. So if you're out there looking for real estate, definitely call her. If you're an agent looking for a new home, sounds like this is a place that you need to be. Give her a call. She would love to work with you. Well, my name is David Wynn. I'm with the Mortgage Edge podcast. Thanks for being with us this week. We will see you next time. Bye, guys.